All right, ladies. So welcome to the Healing Your Attachment Style Masterclass. And I'm going to assume that most of you guys that are here, you guys are on here because you want to learn how to go from the insecure attachment style to secure attachment style. So my question for you ladies is, have you guys heard of attachment styles prior to this? Because I know I've had a few of you ladies in my sessions, whether it's one-on-one or my monthly coaching. And I know a lot of people, believe it or not, have never heard of attachment styles. They've never heard how it can affect your relationship. So I want you guys to put a 1 in the chat if you have heard of it. And if you have not, put a 2 in the chat. So 1 if you have, and 2 if you have not. Okay, wow. See, yeah. Okay. Okay, wow. So let's see. Okay, so basically we have more people who have not heard about attachment styles. So, which is going to be a good thing because the more you know, the better you're going to be. So I'm all about, pouring into yourself, gaining knowledge. The Bible talks about, how we are to get wisdom and get understanding. And, it is a principle thing. And so tonight we're going to be talking a lot about attachment styles and just how it can have an impact on who you are and your relationships that you have, whether it be romantic relationships or friendships. So it's important to really understand what attachment styles are and the different types of attachment styles. So where did the attachment style theory come from? So basically, there was this British psychologist, John Bowlby, and basically he was studying, children behaviors when they were separated from their parents. And he basically determined that a parent or a caregiver who have not been there, who have not been attentive to their child's needs. And for those who are attentive to their children's need, they're more capable of forming a secure attachment. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys that are on here, you do have children. So we're going to talk about that as well. So basically, your attachment style is formed from childhood. And that is why a lot of times, for those of you ladies who have been in therapy, for those who are in my coaching classes, one of the things that we do is we talk a lot about the past, right? And so to understand your present, it's important to go back and look at what happened in your childhood that may have had, the impact on who you are today. So basically, this psychologist just determined that the bonds that we form with our parents or caregivers have an impact on the people we become later on in life. So the relationships we have had with our parents, it set the stage for the relationships that we have today. So it's very important to understand and to really reflect. And within my sessions, for those of you guys who have been coached by me or are being coached by me now, one of the things that I always talk about is being able to reflect, being able to look back at your past and things like that. How are they formed? There's 2 types of attachments, right? You have the insecure attachment style and you have secure. So the insecure attachments is basically when the parenting style have not been consistent, there have been abuse or neglect. And so for those of you ladies who have been through traumatic experiences in your past, whether it be abandonment, neglect, rape, or any type of abuse, you may have formed the insecure attachment style. And then for those of you ladies who have the secure attachment style, you are going to be the ones who your parents were in tune to your needs, and your basic needs can be your physical needs, your emotional needs, just your need as a child. And so there is a few types of insecure attachment style that I'll be talking about today. The whole goal of this session is so that you guys have all the information about the actual attachment style that they have, and then being able to get to secure attachment styles. So I want to ask a question. How many parents do we have in the room? I am a parent. I have 2 boys. So how many other parents do we have? And for those of you guys who will respond, just go ahead. Okay. I see 2 so far. Okay. So I see 2 parents so far. I'm a mom. I see 3. Okay. So we have 3 parents in the room. So I want you guys to keep this in mind while we are doing this masterclass as well. And for those of you ladies who don't have kids, I want you to keep it in mind as well. Basically, how you are raising your children today is going to have the same effect that your parenting had on you. And so it's very important that we work on making sure that we are parenting our children right and that we are attentive to their needs. I know nowadays it's hard, we're working moms and single moms and things like that, but it really does affect them. Why is knowing your attachment style vital within dating? So when I get clients who come into my program, and, one of the things most of them say to me is like, man, I keep attracting the same type of men. I'm attracting men that are not available. I'm attracting men that are, they don't know how to communicate. They just keep attracting the same type of men. And so there's this pattern, right? And so this is the reason why I said, wait a minute, there's a reason why you're attracting those types of men. And so when it comes to your attachment style, it's so important for you to know it, because the more aware you are of something, the better you are at either changing it and just really becoming better. And like I said, the whole goal of this masterclass is to go from the insecure attachment style to being secure within your relationships so that you can have success. I know many of you ladies on here, you guys are waiting for your Boaz, you guys are single, or you're in, situationships where you're getting to know men. But this is really important for you to know within your dating stage. All right. So the reason why this is important for you to know, ladies, is because it really helps you to understand why you behave the way you behave and how you can relate to your partner. So my question to you ladies is, right? I know I asked this in my coaching program, but have you ladies noticed that there is a pattern within your own dating experience? I want you to think back to your past, maybe 5 relationships that you have had. Have you noticed that there is a pattern, like there's a certain type of man that you attract or you choose? For those of you guys who says yes, I want you to put a 1. And for those of you guys who say, no, I haven't really had the same kind, go ahead and put 2. Okay. I see. Yep. Exactly. Seeing a lot of 1s. Yep. Exactly. Yes. Exactly, ladies. And so when you think about the patterns that you are seeing, it can all be because of your attachment style and why you're choosing those particular men. Now, here's the thing about dating, right? When it comes to dating, it's not so much who you attract, it's who you choose, right? Because we all have a choice. God has given us a free will. And so the more you know, the more self-aware you are, basically, the more knowledge you get concerning yourself. And also the more wisdom you get concerning dating, the better you're going to be with your choice. And then also your discernment will be on point. So it's so important, ladies, that in this season of your singleness, for you to really get a chance to know yourself and then also to learn a lot about these things. All right, so the 4 types of attachment styles. I know we got some people that are here taking notes. Anxious attachment style. We have the avoidant one. And then we have this organized. And then the 4th one is secure. So these are the 4 attachment styles that we have. The whole goal is for you to move from the insecure attachment style, which is the first 3, to secure attachment style. All right, so let's define the anxious attachment style. Okay, so the anxious attachment style is basically when your parents or somebody who raised you, your caregiver, they did not provide the attention that was needed as you were maybe like a baby. I would say from maybe birth to 2 years, right, is what the theory says, is the first few years of your life. It's very important that we are in tune, our parents are in tune with us, and they meet our basic needs. So basically, this is formed when there is an abandonment, there is neglect, or, 1 minute your parent is, either really like attentive to your needs, and then the next minute they're not. And so what happens within this attachment style is you become clingy or you become needy. Have you guys ever kind of seen a kid that was like just doing things for attention, because I know I have, right? I know I see like a lot of that a lot where it's like, kids are just like, they will act out. And it's all because they want attention. And a lot of this is because they don't get that attention. So they think, well, if I act out, maybe she'll pay attention to me. Maybe she'll give me what I want and things like that. So when you have a child that experiences a parent that's just not really there, it really gets them to be very clingy, very needy, and then they have trouble trusting others as well. And so when it comes to dating and, the anxious attachment style, these people are usually very anxious. They have high level of dating anxiety. So basically you would be at a point where it's like, you're in a relationship, for instance, and if he doesn't text you back, you're wondering like, oh my God, what is he doing? I mean, why isn't he texting me back? Like, you're so worried, like there's no peace. And so these people are like always on the edge. They're always concerned about what is going on within their dating relationships or their romantic relationships. They fear being alone. So for those of you ladies who are here, you feel like, man, I don't like being alone. It's not like just being lonely, but it's being alone and not wanting to be alone. So, while we're going through all these different signs, I want you guys to really think about which one you have, because at the end, I want us to discuss that a little bit more. Anxious attachment person, they don't like being alone. They have very, very low self-esteem, and they just have this need to just always be with someone. It's like, have you ever met a person who they just jump from relationship to relationship and they take no breaks? I'm not gonna lie. I have been like that at one point in my life. And I know I've shared my testimony a few times, back in the day when I was younger, probably like high school days, just, jumping from relationships to relationships. And so people like that, they cannot be single for nothing. It's like when they're single, they just feel like, no, I need someone. I need someone to feel that love. I need someone to feel, the attention. And a lot of it is all because they like attention and they want it. These people, they're very caring. They're very, very loving people. And so they will always put everyone's needs before theirs. They will put themselves at the bottom of the barrel. They're always looking for validation. They're looking for support. They're looking for responsiveness. And so within those relationships, those people are usually like always asking, how do you feel about me? I mean, do I make you happy? Like, they're just always asking those questions because they always feel the need to be validated. They show up in their relationships with low self-esteem, like I said, and they always wonder, if their partner is truly invested in this relationship. They fear being abandoned because, remember, as children, that is what they went through. And so the reason why they're clingy is because they want to keep their partner very close to them. And again, like I said before, they're very consumed with their relationships and they can't be alone. So how do you heal from the anxious attachment style and become more secure? The way that you heal from this is you want to find someone that is more secure. And I'll talk about the secure attachment later. And that is why, ladies, within the getting to know me stage, and you're going to hear me say this a lot, within the getting to know me stage, it's such a pivotal time to not rush. It's such a pivotal time to vet properly, to ask the right questions, to take it very slow so that you can get to really have discernment, to know that person, to see whether or not they have an anxious attachment style or they have secure, that is why the getting to know me stage is so pivotal, and to cultivate a friendship. And what happens is many times the problem why we end up in these toxic relationships is because we don't get a chance to know people, right? We, get into maybe meeting them and then things go really fast and we don't get a chance to know a lot more about them, about their childhood. And one of the things that I recommend in my coaching program is have those conversations when you first meet someone. You ask, how was your childhood? because them saying those things to you and revealing those, the information about their childhood are things that you will pocket to say, okay, he was adopted, or, he was abandoned by his mom and he lived with his dad. And so you will start to be able to think to yourself, the reason why my partner, or the reason why he is like this, and maybe he doesn't call all the time, is because he is not a secure person. He doesn't have a secure attachment. And so it gives you so much clue about your dating experience and help you to choose better partner. Again, like I said, self-awareness, right? Being self-aware of yourself. Because if you know that you're, the anxious attachment style, you know that you should not be with someone who is like that. You need someone who's more secure that can kind of help you to heal from that. And that's why it's important to date someone who have a secure attachment style. And then another thing too is to be aware of your own attachment style. So my prayer is that after this session today, after this class, you'll be able to say, this is mine, or these are my attachment styles. And you're going to go from being, the insecure to more of a secure attachment style. And point number 3 is learn how to self-regulate your emotions, right? So as women, ladies, we are so emotional, but it's so important that we kind of like get to a place that when we find ourselves being, the anxious type and wondering and being, oh my God, what is going on? What is he doing? How does he feel about me? Does he like me? I mean, asking all of these questions, you get to a quiet place where you're like, wait a minute, Jalen, why are you feeling like that? Why are you feeling like he doesn't love you or he doesn't care about you? And so do some inner searching, do some self-reflecting and work on self-regulating your emotions, work on managing your emotions so that you're not all over the place. Another thing is find a therapist or a trained professional that can really work with you on regulating your emotions, or work with you on really becoming healed from this. It's so important that I'm telling you, ladies, if you guys are going to, cultivate healthy and loving relationships within the next year or so, this is the key. I'm telling you, this is the key.